Hi, third graders. This is Miss McEwen. We went over in the first video, we went over the front side of lesson 21, elapsed time. So now we're ready to do the back side of that paper. So if you flip over on the back, you have some questions where you have to use some estimating or rounding. Number 1 says there are 87 students signed up for soccer. There are 63 students signed up for swimming. About how many more students are signed up for soccer than swimming? Now, my key word here is about. Remember, when you see that word about, you don't want an exact number. You want to round it to the nearest 10 or the nearest 100 to figure out the amount. Okay, and we want to know how many more. And I know how many more means I'm going to subtract. So if I go up here for soccer, there's 87. And if I round 87 to the nearest 10, that would be about 90 students. And then for swimming, there were 63. Remember, you look at this 3, 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 or below, keep it low. So this is going to stay a 6. So that is about 60. And I know for how many more I'm going to subtract. And if I do 90, take away 60, 0 take away 0 is 0, and 9 take away 6 is 3. So my answer would be there are about 30 students, 30 more students signed up for soccer. Okay, number 2, Grover School put on a concert. On Friday night, 212 people came. On Saturday night, 295 people came. Round each number to the nearest 100 to find out about how many people came to the concert in all. So I know in all tells me that I'm going to be adding. And it told me exactly what to do. It said round each number to the nearest 100. So we want to know about how many. So we know we're rounding it. Okay, so for Friday night, there's 212. If you round 212 to the nearest 100, it comes between 200 and 300. If you look at the number in the tens place, it's a 1. So that's not 5 or above. We keep that at 200. So 212 is about 200. Then on Saturday night, there was 295. Well, 295, if I look at my tens place, I've got a 9, which is 5 and above. You're going to give this 2 a shove, so it's going to go up to a 3. So 295 is closest to 300. And then since we want to know in all, we're going to add these two numbers up, and our total is going to be 500 people. So B. Okay, number 3, here we're using this table. It tells us the grade and how many students are in each grade. Okay, it says to the nearest 100, about how many students are in all 3 grades. Okay, so I need to round each one of these to the nearest 100. So 212, we've already said, is closest to 200. 165, that tens place is a 5 or above, so that means we're going to give it a shove. So that is about 200. That rounds to 200 also. 143, I have a 4 in my tens place, so that means I'm going to keep my hundreds place low. 4 and below, keep it low. So that would be 100. Now, to find out how many in all third grades, that means we have to add all 3 of those numbers. So if I've got 200, 200, and 100, and I add them all together, 2, 4, and 1 more gives me 5. So to the nearest 100, there are about 500 students in those grades. Okay, which number sentence could you use to estimate the number of students in second grade and third grade? Remember, estimate is the same as about or to round. So second grade, we've already said was 200. And third grade was 200 also. And if we want to know how many students are in both of those grades together, then we're not subtracting, we are adding. So it would be 200 plus 200. Second grade had about 200, and third grade had about 200. So your answer is C. All right, number 5. Joshua has 132 stickers in his collection. 45 of the stickers are puppy stickers. The rest are regular stickers. About how many regular stickers does Joshua have in his collection? Okay, so since it says about, that means we're going to round this answer. Okay, so I'm going to take, he had 132, and then he had 45 that were puppy. So we're going to take away the puppy to see how many regular stickers he had. Okay, so I can't take 5 from 2, so I had to regroup. I get 7. I can't take 4 from 2, so I have to regroup again, and I get 87. And 87, since it says about, 87 rounds to 90. So he has about 90 stickers. Okay. All right. Derek wants to buy a book for $18 and a board game for $31. Derek estimates he needs $40. Is his estimate correct? Explain why or why not. Okay. If he wants to buy a book that is $18, if I'm in a store thinking about I want this book that's $18, in my head I'm gonna round that and say it's about $20. And then I see a game that's $31 and I think to myself, well, that's about $30. Okay, so if I add those two up, I know I would need $50. Now Derek's estimate was 40, so when it says is he correct, we would put no. And if to find the correct estimate, it should be he needs about $50. Okay, and we could also add that up to check. So if we did 18 plus 31, if you want the exact number, 8 plus 1 is 9, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So 49 we can see is about 50. So that's where they get that. You need about $50. Okay, we'll write the meaning of each word in your own words. Remember, this is your own word, so there's no right or wrong answer. But when it says to round, you should have put something about finding which 10 or 100 the number is closest to. Okay, rounding it to the nearest 10 or the 100. You're finding about how much, and the same thing with estimate. When you're estimating something, you're trying to decide about how much there is. An estimate is not a true measurement, it's just your guess. Your estimate is your guess of how many there are. So a good word for estimate would be to guess. Okay? Good job, guys, and I'll see you next time.